Conrad, Lucy, Caleb. The story of the Silver Surfer is one of the greatest stories in the annals of the Fantastic Four. It is a four-part story, and it begins with the coming of Galactus. Galactus, one of the most powerful entities in the entire galaxy. That's why he's called Galactus, right? And Galactus is so great that he merits the attention not only of the Fantastic Four, the Thing, the Torch, the Invisible Girl, and Mr. Fantastic, but look, the Watcher himself is on the lookout for the coming of Galactus. What a great story, and I'm so glad you asked for it. I'm eager to tell it. Let's go. It begins in the colorful reaches of outer space amidst the brightly colored stars and planets and swirling galaxies. Somewhere in the deep vastness of outer space, an incredible figure hurls through the cosmos. Who is it? Yes, it is a being whom we shall call the Silver Surfer, for want of a better name. The Silver Surfer zooming along the starways like a living comet with the freedom and wild abandon of the wind itself. On and on he soars, dodging meteors, skirting around asteroids, rocketing from planet to planet, with entire galaxies as his ports of call, with the known universe itself as his highway. And in the fifth quadrant of the Andromeda Galaxy, an unimaginable distance from the planet Earth, there is great consternation on the home planet of the Skrulls. Remember the Skrulls? They're the ugly green beings of their planet. And one of them looks through a viewfinder and says, "There can be no doubt it is the Silver Surfer." Order the entire Skrull solar system blacked out at once. Faster, faster, the Silver Surfer. He must not stop here. They all are worried about the Silver Surfer. Why? We shall see. With all our power, my lord, with all our weapons and our armaments, why do we fear the lone Silver Surfer? It is not merely him, you fool. Have you not studied your cosmic history? Wherever he appears, it is certain that Galactus cannot be far behind. And now, through the magic of our limitless imaginations, we return again to the verdant planet Earth, where we find the world's most fabulous quartet completing the last leg of their fateful journey. They're flying through the air in their airplane, and Ben says, "Hey, I don't get it. How come there are two suns up there in the sky today?" "Knock it off, Ben. It's way too early for an April Fool gag. Don't take my word for it, Stretcho. Take a squint yourself. Look, I can see two suns. Can't you?" But Reed Richards is too focused on his flight plan. He says, "Sorry, Ben, I've got to prepare for our landing now. Save your little party pranks for later, okay?" And Johnny says, "If things are quiet back home, maybe you can start working on a way to crack that barrier, Reed." And Ben says, "Maybe I am ready for the funny farm, but dagnabbit, I do see two suns." "Ben, what in blazes are you mumbling about?" "Wait, you're right. There are two suns. And as if that ain't bad enough, one of them is getting bigger." "No, that ain't no sun. It's something else. something different. It's growing by leaps and bounds now. It's expanding, it's swelling, it's filling the entire sky. Look at those flames. What can they be? Read, what is it? The whole sky seems to be aflame. I don't know, says Reed. Fasten your safety belts fast. We're landing on the double. Ben, grab the stick. I'll need a co-pilot. The radio has gone dead. It's getting hard to see. Seconds later, after a breathtaking descent and landing, the FF dashed from the great ship to find... Where is everyone? Asks Ben. The blamed field is deserted. Sue asks, but how? This is normally one of the busiest airports in the East. Reed says, it's that thing in the sky, that flame. People have fled in panic. Flames, says Johnny. That's one thing I don't have to worry about. Listen to the sounds of shouting in the distance, says Reed. Only a fear-filled crowd could make a din like that. The entire city is in turmoil. Oh, my darling, says Sue. We've left a desperate soul-searing adventure only to return to something that seems far more dangerous, far more terrifying. Well, of course, every adventure has to build up the fear and terror, right? And the danger. Easy, Sue, says Reed. There's got to be an answer somewhere, and we'll find it. Flame on, says Johnny. Wait there, I'll see what this is about. Johnny, stop, says Reed, and he reaches for the torch. The people are already frightened by all the flame. But Reed realizes it's no use. He's going too fast. He doesn't hear me. And so the torch flies over the city. Quickly reaching the heart of the great city, the Human Torch sees a sight he is destined never to forget, the sight of a mighty metropolis in the dread grip of panic. And he thinks, it's like a world gone mad. There's one thing I don't get. The whole sky is filled with flame, but there's no heat. Nothing is burning. Nothing is being harmed. Look up there, says one of the rioters. It's the Human Torch. He must be responsible. It can only be him. The torch, of course, it has to be his doing. Who else could set the fire, could set the sky aflame? Who else indeed? Hey, hold it, says Torch. Did you lose your marbles or something? I'm trying to help. But look, those blockheads, he thinks. They toss a brick at me, will they? I'll show 'em. And they're attacking the torch, thinking he's responsible for the flaming sky. Angered by the crowd's attack, the quick-tempered youth carelessly flies lower, just as a powerful high-pressure water hose is turned on, and then, whoosh! We got him. This'll bring him down where we can question him. Keep that hose on him. Soak him good so he can't get away. Pretty proud of yourselves, aren't you? Says Johnny. If I hadn't caught onto this lamppost, I could have busted my neck. Worse than that'll happen to you if you don't get rid of those flames in the sky. You won't escape us now. And this guy tries to shinny up the pole. Sheesh, thinks Johnny. They actually think I'm to blame. Meanwhile, having retrieved their speedy jet cycle, which they had left at the airport, Reed, Sue, and Ben zoom after the missing Johnny. I've never seen anything like it, says Reed. People running wild in the streets, chaos everywhere. If only we can find Johnny, says Sue. What can have happened to him? Whoa, Stretcho, says Ben. I see him. He's fighting a whole blamed mob right below us. I'll let the cycle hover here while I stretch down and... Ben, what happened? Are you hurt? What made you fall? Give your gums a rest, Curly. I'm okay, but if my little pal's in trouble, it's going to be Blue-Eyed Benjamin who gets him out of it. Geronimo! And so Ben doesn't fall, he jumps. And he's going to get down to the ground and see if he can help his friend Johnny. And meanwhile, guys are saying, grab him, you guys. He fights like a whole blamed regiment. Johnny says, even without my flame, nobody manhandles the torch. And now, says Ben, as my dear old Aunt Petunia might have said, it's clobbering time. Yeah, he's ready. Hearing the Thing's blood-curdling battle cry, the milling mob instantly loses its zest for battle as the Torch's attackers take to their heels. It's the Thing! Let me out of here! Gangway! Johnny says, Ben, boy, are you a sight for sore eyes. Another fellow says, the Thing! He's coming right towards us. Look out! Run! Well, I think I'd run if I saw the Thing coming after me. But there always seems to be one wise guy in every crowd. And look, here's a big guy. He's so tough, he doesn't even shave. He says, so you're the big bad Thing, huh? Well, mister, you don't look so tough to me. Thing says, you're breathing on my baby blues, Buttercup. Now take off before I bat you all the way from here to Yancey Street. Yeah, it's time someone showed you up for the phony you are, and I'm the guy who's gonna do it. Thap. I don't think much is gonna happen. Ow, my knuckles. Still standing, huh? Well, a belt in the Labanza will knock the wind out of your sails. Ugh. And he goes for his belly. Yeah, that's not gonna help. And so Thing says, don't worry, tough guy. They ain't gonna be hurting you for long. Thump. Blink. And so with just one finger, he knocks the guy on his back. You can sleep it off here, pal. You'll be napping out of it in a couple of hours. Then think of the fun you'll have in the emergency ward, telling everybody what a phony I am. Meanwhile, Johnny's looking up at the sky. Hey, Ben, look. The sky's all clear again. The flames are gone. I don't get it. Ben says, that makes the two of us. Let's see if old Stretcho has the answer. Although even if he don't, that won't stop him from chewing our ears off anyhow. Johnny, says Sue, you shouldn't have gone off on your own that way. If not for Ben, you might have been hurt. Let it ride, honey, advises Reed. He doesn't need lecturing now. Nothing more we can do here, guys. What say we head back to our HQ, our headquarters? But what's been happening, Reed? Asks Johnny. Haven't you any ideas? And Ben says, maybe they're advertising some new movie. Reed says, all we can be sure of is we're facing a power that may be greater than any we've ever battled before. And he's right. Now climb aboard. I'm anxious to work this out in the lab. Even as Reed speaks, a gigantic star in a distant galaxy explodes, transforming itself into a mighty supernova. And as the indescribable impact fills the heavens, the escaping gases catch the Silver Surfer, flinging him outward across the endless void. And here comes the Surfer right at us. Further and further travels the strange space wanderer, riding the shock waves, the rolling gases, across countless light years, heading in the direction of the Milky Way, in which nestles our own solar system, and the planet Earth. And then, at last, he finds what he has been seeking, a sun, our sun, a true G-type star. And look as he flies through the air, past Saturn, past the other planets, looking at the sun. Instantly, he realizes that such a sun must contain among its satellites at least one planet with the energy and the elemental resources so necessary to the great Galactus. And now we get a close-up look at the face of the Silver Surfer and his searching eyes as he seeks the planet that will sustain Galactus. But by now the FF have reached the Baxter building, where we find the thing on the phone talking to Alicia. Baby, are you okay? I told you I'd come back before you knew it. And Sue says, what does Reed expect me to do while he locks himself in that lab for hours on end? The flames in the sky are gone. The danger seems to be over. You'd think he'd remember his wife. Even Mrs. Reed Richards might like to be taken out to dinner once in a while. Come on, Susie gal, hold it down to a shout, will you? I'm trying to talk to Alicia. Well, I've no intention of being completely ignored while he juggles those test tubes of his for the rest of the night. And so she clicks on the viewfinder and says, Reed, look at you. You haven't even shaved, and you must be starved. For the love of Pete, girl, says Reed, is that what you disturbed me for? Disturbed you? All I wanted was, oh, the tack. He broke the connection. He turned off his wife. Oh, my word, he's going to be in trouble if he thinks he can shut me out of his life. You're making a mountain out of a mouse hole, kid, says Ben. He still loves you, but he's got a job to do. Men, you always side with each other. Hey, Johnny, how come all females is so... Uh-oh, now what are you looking at? I don't get it, Ben, says Johnny. It's like the whole world is going crazy. Look out there and tell me if I'm seeing things. The whole sky is filled with some sort of orbiting space debris. And look, instead of flames, it's filled with rocks. It's so thick you can just barely see the sky through it. Looks like we're both losing our marbles, says Ben, 'cause I see it too. Within seconds, everyone has seen the awesome phenomenon. Soon, high-flying copters loaded with scientific equipment take to the sky in a vain effort to solve the nightmarish puzzle. And this copter pilot says, it's as though some giant unseen power is toying with us. And back atop the famous Baxter building, Reed says, Sue darling, you can't come in now, not yet. But you've been working for hours without food, without rest. I won't stand for it. You're my husband now, Reed Richards, and I want to keep you healthy. The world won't come to an end if you take time out for dinner. I wish I could be sure of that, answers Reed. What do you mean? Well, looky here. It's the Watcher, and he's there in Reed's lab. He says, perhaps I can explain. I have been causing those phenomena in the skies above the earth with my matter mobilizer. Look at that. The Watcher says, but when I saw that my artificial fire shield caused panic among the humans, I substituted inorganic space debris in its place. Sue says, the Watcher, but I thought you were pledged never to interfere with other worlds. True, but the danger is too great this time. The Silver Surfer is on the way. He is the advanced scout for Galactus. Galactus, who drains entire planets of their elements and then leaves them dry, unable to support life. I could not stand by and see this happen to Earth. That is why I'm trying to conceal your planet from the Silver Surfer. For of all who inhabit the known universe, only Galactus has power enough to match my own. And the editor explains, as all true Marvelites know, the Watcher is a being from another galaxy, from a far older civilization, whose mission it is to watch and to record the history of the cosmos. He and the Fantastic Four have met a number of times in the past, and I hope that y'all can remember the times they've met the Watcher on the moon. For example, when they were fighting the Red Ghost and his mighty apes. Do y'all remember that? I do. One of my favorite stories. Watcher continues, even as I speak, our flashing foe has reached your moon. Although Earth is hidden by my machinations, he is certain to grow suspicious of the floating space debris. Our moment of crisis is now at hand. And look, here comes the Silver Surfer. Will the space debris hide our Earth from his searching eyes? The Watcher's grave concern is well warranted, for that at that precise instant the Silver Surfer penetrates the rocky barrier around Earth with consummate skill, weaving in and among the space debris with no trouble. As scant seconds later he realizes that some power has attempted to conceal the civilization, nay, the entire planet, that now lies helpless before him. And he descends and sees the great city beneath him. And then as he hurtles over New York like an unleashed meteor, a flaming, flashing figure zooms to challenge him. And here comes the Torch, who thinks the Watcher was right. It's him. Where'd he go? But look, the Surfer dodges easily. Wow, thinks the Torch, he dodged me as easily as if I was anchored up here. He has landed, says the Watcher. He is signaling Galactus. We have failed. Failed nothing, says the Thing. Just let me at him. It is too late, says the Watcher. The damage is done. We must plan our defense. Disregarding the humans with utter and complete disdain, the Silver Surfer seems to generate a sudden burst of energy which travels through hyperspace instantaneously. And a split second later, no, Thing, he is no longer our problem. We must prepare for Galactus. Bach! You do the preparing, pal. I'm more the clobbering type. And he clobbers the Surfer. And the Surfer falls. Holy Hannah, says the Thing. I didn't mean to hit him that hard. Go get him, Johnny, before he hits the ground. I've warned you 1,000 times about learning to control your temper, Ben, says Reed. Don't worry, big buddy, says the Torch. I'll be able to break his fall. I don't get it. He bounced back like he wanted to fall off the roof, says Ben. He did wish to, says the Watcher. A mere fall cannot hurt the Silver Surfer. It was simply the easiest way for him to depart. You must forget about him who rides the skyways. The danger is Galactus, for he is the ultimate danger, perhaps the final danger. I sense his universe-spanning sphere entering the Earth's atmosphere now. He has received the Silver One's signal, and here comes the sphere from outer space, bearing Galactus to the Earth. Look at that dazzling display. See, this great sphere is opening. His testing devices are sampling Earth's elemental composition. He has found what he seeks. The planet is doomed. His gizmos are floating back to the ship. He's heading this way again. He zeroed in on where the Silver Surfer's signal came from. Stand your ground, says the watcher. Henceforth there shall be no place to run. His ship is bigger than it seemed. He must be a giant. He is what he wishes to be. He is Galactus. My journey is ended, speaks Galactus. This planet shall sustain me until it has been drained of all elemental life. So speaks Galactus. Next issue, prepare for wonderment without end, marvels without measure, scenes of mind-staggering fantasy, supergalactic grandeur, soul-searing spectacle for the greatest, grandest adventure, thrill of all. You dare not miss it. So speak Stan and Jack. All right, enough said. There he is, Galactus, the great, powerful entity of the galaxy. He has turned his attention to the Earth, and who can defend our planet? Only the Fantastic Four. And that is the beginning of the saga of the Silver Surfer, the coming of Galactus, and the battle of the ages. We'll have more to come later.